Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another broadcast. My name is Laura, and welcome to another video. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if it's not your first time here, I really appreciate it still. I'd like to welcome my two guests here today. Randy Thompson. Hi, Randy. Randy has been coaching and certifying riding instructors for over 25 years, and she's a horse industry legal consultant and expert witness, and the founder of Jumping Instructors Live and Jumping Instructors Network. Thanks for being here, Randy. I appreciate it. And we also have Patty Downing-Nygaard.
Hello.
Patty.
That's me down here.
Down there. Patty is a USEF Large R judge and has judged at some of the most prestigious shows in North America, including West Palm Beach, Sonoma Horse Park, Pebble Beach, Devon, Harrisburg, Marshall Sterling Finals, Hits Ocala, West Coast Pony Finals. Thank you, Patty, for being here. I appreciate it. Got our first person here.
It's a little tiny person on that horse.
Little tiny person on a nice big horsey.
It's jumping well. So this picture pops up, and the first thing I think of is what a cute jumper. And it's got its ears up. It looks happy. And then I see a pretty solid rider that's just a little behind. And I'd like to see her open up her chest a little bit. We see this a lot. And just have a little bit more distance between her chest and the crest. I like her release. She's following through, and it would just be a little bit better release. And I'd like to see her lower leg maybe a bit more forward. However, and on the inside of the calf. Looks like it might have left a little long.
She said that it was from a video, so it's kind of stretched out. It's kind of stretched out, she says, but all those things are still going to happen.
Right,
no
exactly.
matter if it's stretched out or not, so.
Exactly. And she's not in the horse's way, and that's the biggest thing, is to not be in your horse's way when it jumps. However, if something doesn't go quite right, if you're not in the proper position, then you will be in the way. So it's like being prepared to be in the right position, and be ready for something to not be quite right. She looks to me like she might be hugging with the back of her calf the more I look at it, instead of the inside of her calf. She might be hanging on that way a little bit. Again, I like her release. And I think that's it. And I would think that's an exercise of riding without stirrups, practicing in 2-point. At her level, maybe jumping in 2-point, just staying in 2-point, making yourself stay in position like through a grid or a good gymnastic, and just really working on that position.
Yeah, I agree totally with that. Lots of things you like about this photograph too, right?
I love it. Yeah.
It looks like she enjoys the horse. She trusts the horse. She's comfortable with what it's doing.
And she's looking up. I mean, it's good.
Looking up, back is flat.
And we're just gonna, because that's what we do. We noticed right away. We can see she's just not in her lower leg, like a rider of this level is capable of doing. Because she looks like she can hold her position. She's been training where she's been working on her position. I'd say she might even be working a little bit with training horses. But at this level of riding with a rider like this, I would expect her to be able to practice more on being able to keep her weight down into her ankles to solidify that position.
And on the inside of her calf. Yeah, the inside of her calf. And that can be, so instructors that are listening to this, it's when you teach the same person over and over again, sometimes we get tired of saying the same things over and over. So it's possible that she's been told not to do that. However, at this point, she's still doing it. So let's get that right on the inside of your calf and the inside of your thigh.
And I find the leg position is very common with riders who are taught to use the Prince of Wales spurs, because it teaches them to use their heel instead of the inside, usually the upper inside of the calf muscle. So, as I look at this, you can see she's clearly using her heel.
Yeah.
You can see that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's causing her leg to turn out. And, of course, as a result, her knee will turn out, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. So, I mean, one of the things, I mean, as a judge, that looking up is important. Heels down is important. But the other thing that you kind of look for is that straight line shoulder, knee, toe. And if you, Patty, you said she was kind of behind the motion.
Yeah, she looks to me like her hip is back a little too far almost, and her lower leg's back. It's like she's jumped ahead maybe, and she going backwards.
Yeah.
It makes it look to me like she's going backwards, but she would just open her shoulders a little bit and let her foot go forward a little bit. That straight line would be there, and that line's always there.
And she would look more like following the movement.
Exactly.
It's
What a cute horse.
Like 4 inches.
Yeah, what a cute horse.
Cute rider too.
Yeah, exactly. If you took the horse away,
well, as Randy says, if you put her on the ground, she'd fall over.
Yeah, that's one of the things, and that goes back to this straight line too, right? If you took the horse,
because she'd be standing on her toes, so
she'd be putting her hands out so she wouldn't fall. Really, I like you, but like as you say, bring your shoulders back and then lower leg forward
and inside of her calf instead of
inside of her calf
back.
Yeah, and that would help open up her elbow angle as well. So all those things are kind of like a domino effect, right? It's just once you fix one thing, it everything kind of shifts back together so that they ride better in better balance. So if this rider came to me for a lesson, I think I would set up some trot rails on the ground and make this person do like a 2-point or standing up in the stirrups, weight down in her heels to push that heel down and forward. Stretch the back of your leg down and keep the calf on the horse, the inside part of the calf on the horse.
And the inside of her thigh. Now her leg is about as big as my forearm, so she doesn't have a lot of leg. She's very slender, and but she's all muscle. She ought to be able to get that leg where it's supposed to go. And I would kind of do the same thing. I would probably put her in 2-point and let her go through on a good old school horse and go through gymnastics and just hold her position. Put her position exactly where it is and get her on the inside of her calf and just work on staying still and being in a position, just going back a few steps and just reliving those when you first learned how to do it. Sometimes we forget the basics and why we do what we do.
And continuing on with the trot rails, small cavaletti, just getting that muscle memory back, as you say, or developing the muscle memory to keep their legs from slipping back, keeping this straight line forward and not moving your upper body, just keeping it still. And something that you say, Patty, that I've started to develop is let the horse come up to meet you. Don't you go down and meet the horse.
Exactly, because when the horse jumps, they raise an arc up, and if you lean down, it's coming up, and that's why you end up on the neck too. So if you can let that horse jump up to you and let it do all the work, because that's what's supposed to happen.
Thank you so much
for having me. Okay.
If you haven't already, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos coming out. Appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. See you next week. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.